In this video, we're going to learn how to set up our camera for long exposure photography. So the first thing you're going to want to do is uncap your lens and open up and unlock your lens. And make sure that you turn your camera in the on mode. And we're going to go ahead and I'll zoom in just a little bit so you can see a little better. You're going to go ahead and make sure that your camera is set to M for manual. Just a reminder to set your aperture, you depress this button right here. At the same time, you turn your command dial, and you'll notice this will change my aperture like this. And if I just let go of that button and I just move my command dial, this will now change my shutter speed. So what you're going to want to pay attention to is this light right here. You want all of those little hash marks to be in the 0 or one line before or one line after. The 0 will show you if it's slightly overexposed or slightly underexposed. So I already have my camera set up for evening photography, but we're going to walk you through how to do that. First thing you're going to want to do is set your info button so you can activate the inside quick selection menu. You're going to make sure that all of these settings are defaulted to raw, auto white balance, active delighting, can be either on or off, that is up to you. And we're going to go all the way over to our ISO. We're going to accept OK, and we're going to change our ISO to 6400 ISO. So we want to set our camera to 6400 because this is the highest setting without losing massive quality. So if I go to 12,800, you're going to see the night stars, but you really have to have your camera be like perfectly exposed at that setting, and it does create excessive white noise. So I like to shoot at 6400. Occasionally I'll go up to 12,800, but I usually gravitate between the two. So let's start at 6400 ISO. We're going to go ahead and make sure that our camera is set to manual focus because we will not be able to be focusing at night. If you are photographing while the sun is setting, set your camera to AFS. Set your camera on your tripod, set up your camera, depress your shutter button partway down so it activates the autofocus setting. And then once that's focused, since you're not moving your camera anymore, then you're going to go to manual and you'll turn your camera to manual focus and you won't need to worry about your camera being out of focus. Now, if you move your tripod or you move the direction or the position or the angle of your camera, you're going to have to go and reset your autofocus again and then change it to manual focus so that you're not getting the every time you try to focus your camera when it's nighttime. I'm going to scroll all the way across. You'll notice that my focus settings are now, autofocus settings are not enabled because I'm on manual focus. You're then going to change your settings to self-timer. Super important that you set your camera to self-timer mode because if you try to photograph while your camera is set on the tripod, you'll notice even this is shaking even though I'm on a stable surface. Or if I'm this way, this can move up and down, and that can cause blur in your camera. So if you depress your shutter button partway down, you engage it, it moves and wiggles, you're not going to have to worry about the focus being off because of camera shake, because then once you let go, your self-timer is going to activate and then it will take the picture for you. So mine is defaulted already to a 2-second self-timer. So I'm doing that by pushing this little button right here and you'll see that my self-timer is there. And I go over to this setting and it's already set to 2-second self-timer. To get to the 2-second, it defaults by the way to 10 seconds. You have to go to your menu. So I'm going to click on menu. I'm going to go to the crescent wrench setup menu. You will most likely be all the way at the top where it says reset options. So we're going to, or maybe it was that format memory card, which was the last settings that you had. So you're going to scroll all the way down until you see the second page and you see self-timer. And now with my multi-selector, I'm going to go over. I'm going to go to self-timer delay. I can go ahead and now change from the defaulted 10 seconds to 2 seconds. And I'll just show you what that looks like. Again, when I depress my button now, this is set at 2-second self-timer. And this is my continuous mode right here for shooting modes. So now when I depress my shutter button, and I'm just going to go and manually show you, you're looking at this little light right here. It's going to just 2 seconds and you heard it took the picture. Now, of course, I didn't focus, so this is what I'm getting. I also didn't set my aperture and shutter speed accurately, so I'm going to get part of my cabinet on my desk not quite exposed right. So just to remind you to set your exposure, you are going to change your settings either by going down. You can see that's a perfect exposure at f18. If I want to be higher, then I'm going to go up to the highest setting I can possibly do, and that's f29 on this setting. And again, that all changes based on my zoom. When I zoom out, you'll notice that that might change as well. And then I want to make sure that I go all the way as low as I possibly can go. And you'll see this is 1 over 2.5. That is 0.2 of a second. When I start going down to the quotation marks, that acts as a full second. So you can go all the way as far down as 30 seconds. If you go past that, I don't recommend you photographing in bulb because, again, you need a cable release to be able to do that. Otherwise, you're going to get some jiggle jangle and your picture will be blurry. So 30 seconds and set to a self-timer mode so that you're not getting any blur. Have a great time taking pictures. I can't wait to see how they come out.